Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the WrestleMania episode of Boot to the Face. I'm Chris Rucker along with E.J. Reed here, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will talk about college basketball's Final Four, Caitlin Clark versus, I had her name. What's my
Paige
girl?
Beckers.
No.
Angel Reese for
Angel
LSU.
Reese. Angel Reese. The rematch that everybody was looking forward to. It's now 1-1. But Caitlin still got to go get that ring.
It's gonna stay at 1-1. Clark is off to the NBA after the season.
But yeah, I'm sure that's what they will talk about at FullPressCoverage.com. But we here on Boot to the Face, we're gonna be talking about professional motherfucking wrestling.
Yeah, but to your previous comment, she ain't getting a ring. She ain't beat my Gamecocks, baby. Come on now.
South Carolina's in the Final Four?
In the final for like every year, women's basketball. Come on.
Damn, man, good for y'all. Didn't she beat them last year?
She did, but that's before Don Staley reloaded with all these 3-point snipers.
Listen to me. Didn't she beat them last year? I mean, technically it was her. Like, she was smoking, but she didn't play them in the semifinal, does she? Or she played them in the finals if they play.
They'll be in the finals. It's UConn versus Iowa.
Yeah. I'm more looking forward to the women's championship than I am the men's. Like, there's no storyline in the men's now. Duke got eliminated. Like, I don't even know who's left.
You got the North Carolina State story with the big boy. The big boy been getting down.
Back in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, Trailer's little boy? That's who he looks like. For all the 80s and 90s kids, y'all remember Ray Track the Trailer.
Yeah, rest in peace.
He died.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Like 10 years ago, not recent.
No shit. I had no idea.
He was there for a while. But, you know.
It doesn't make it any less shocking. I just found out about it.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Track the Trailer. But man, how was your weekend though?
Weekend was good. Played some golf in Nashville.
Yeah. I forgot you came out of retirement.
Yeah, drank a lot of whiskey. Shitty hotel stay. Well, I guess I can talk about it here. I don't have an 80 proof to fucking talk about stuff on anymore. The hotel I stay at, I'm a Marriott Gold Elite member, which means I stay there a lot. I stay at Marriott hotels a lot. I build up a lot of points, which is always good, right? Like, you get more points, you get free stays, like you get perks, like late checkout, shit like that. So there was a Sheraton hotel in downtown Nashville. I said, shit, I'll stay here. Looks cool as hell on the website. It was just fucking horse shit and hassles. And I get there, you know, I'm supposed to pay $40 a night for parking. Their parking lot's under construction. Doesn't say that on the website. $70 a night for valet. So already I'm hot.
That's a big ripoff, having to pay parking. I know that the fancier hotels do it, but if I'm paying all this money to stay there, you should at least give me complimentary parking and whatnot.
I agree with you, but I will say this. It was downtown, and there ain't a lot of parking downtown besides parking decks. So you'd have to, like, they're not going to have their own parking lot at a downtown hotel. So I get it, right? Like, whatever. Like, when we stayed at the Marriott in St. Louis, we were downtown, we had to pay for parking over there because it was a parking deck. I hear what you're saying, but downtown, whatever, $40 a night. I was good with it. It was the $70 that I felt like was a ripoff, right? So then I go check in, and the lady at the desk says, just so you know, we have a lot of construction going on because we're remodeling. So between the hours of 8 and 5 a.m. to p.m., you might hear a lot of noise. I'm like, that's when I'm trying to sleep. Like, I'm going to be drinking these next couple nights. So I'm a little hot about that. I get to my room. I don't have any furniture. I just got a bed and a fucking desk. There's no like couch and futon. I go looking at the pictures. I'm like, the pictures say I'm supposed to have other furniture in here. It's just a lamp and a big ass open area in the room with nothing underneath it, right? I go to shave, my sink's clogged up. So now I'm like, all right, god damn it. I call down, I'm like, I want a different room. They send me to a different room. Again, no furniture. So now I've called Bonvoy because like it was Friday night. I actually didn't go out because I drove up there straight from work. So I stayed in Friday night. I ate at the bar and went to sleep early. But I had a little time on my hands, so I called and complained on the Marriott rewards people, and they got in touch with the hotel, and the hotel called me on the room phone and was like, we have another room. Do you want that one? So they gave me another room, which finally worked. EJ, I was on the 23rd floor. Okay. 23 floors. I don't know if you saw my little video I posted going up the elevator. That was the only time the fucking elevators worked. The elevators didn't work all Saturday. There were 4 elevators. At minimum, 2 of them didn't work at one time, to the point where I thought I was drunk, right? I thought I was really drunk and I was seeing shit. I remember seeing a firefighter with an axe trying to get the fucking elevator doors open because people were stuck on.
Probably were seeing right.
No, I was, because I talked to a couple the next day after breakfast and they were like, it was a shit show last night on the elevators. But I, did some cool things, went to a couple bars, played some golf, went to the top floor at, it's called the Sky Bar, where you're like overlooking the city, and it was like a sushi bar and shit like that. So had a little sushi, had a couple drinks, got really drunk, ended up passing out at like midnight. Went to my room to like change clothes and shit like that because we'd walked up steps because the elevators wasn't working, and ended up just passing out. Woke up at like 3:45 to like text messages and phone calls and shit. So
Like
it was a good time. Short story long, I complained and I ended up getting my parking and both of my nights comped. So I'm getting refunds on my credit card for all of that. They gave me an extra 10,000 points on my Bonvoy card. And then I still get those nights counted as because you have to stay a certain amount of nights to keep your elite status. So I'm still getting those nights credited to my account. So all in all, like it was a shitty stay, but it was free. I don't have to pay for the parking or the fucking rooms for that night.
Hey, sounds like a win to me. Turn lemons into lemonade. But
Yeah.
did you hit up Broadway?
I don't think no, I didn't.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, I did. Did I? Where did we go? We went to, it was like Dirks Bentley's bar. It was Jason Aldean's bar, and somebody else's bar was right there. So maybe it was Broadway. All I know is we got on scooters and we rode for like 10 blocks to get to where we were going. And then we rode the scooters back. And I should not have been riding the scooters drunk as I was. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself. You know those little rental scooters you can like scan the app?
Bird scooter. I mean, technically,
Lime or whatever it's called.
get a DWI. I think somebody did get one. I heard a story about it, but you didn't, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, I didn't hurt anybody either. So almost ran over a little kid on the way out there though, because we left. We went out really early. We played golf and then started drinking, and then we went out probably 5:30. Like the sun wasn't even down yet. And I was already like feeling it. And we got to that bar, and I think I had like probably 6 or 7 drinks already. Took a couple of Vegas bombs before that. Like, I don't know what. I was drinking like I was 25.
What does a Vegas bomb consist of?
Crown Royal, some kind of schnapps, I think, and Red Bull.
Sounds deadly because it'll get you drunk, but then keep you up.
It didn't keep me up. Like I said, about midnight 30, I was out like a light.
Oh, snap.
But it's a pretty good time. But I mean, it ain't going to be nothing compared to what you're going to have this weekend, EJ.
Yeah, man. WrestleMania week. Going out to Philly. Thursday morning. So we'll
Oh
probably get
damn.
in. Yeah, we'll probably get into that a little later. Before we get into wrestling. What's this with some pizza getting left on your porch?
It's just I don't know. About 10:30 last night, somebody knocked on my door, and I just finished watching a bunch of videos on Twitter about like people robbing people like that, like knocking on the door armed. So of course, like I looked on my camera, and I see some motherfucker I've never seen before. So I'm like, okay, well, it's me and my daughter here. Like I'm gonna answer the door, but I had my piece on me, and by the time I got to the door and opened it, he was gone, and I looked down, and there's just fucking pizza from a pizza place there with a receipt on it from DoorDash. No address, no name, anything. Just says DoorDash, cheese pizza, marinara, red pepper, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking around. So my neighbors across the hall, they get a lot of food delivered to them. So I knock on their door, like, is this yours? He's like, no. I was like, shit. Why ain't you gonna leave it sitting out here? So yeah.
Housed it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a local pizza shop?
Yeah, it was a little mom and pop joint around here.
Man, I've never been that lucky. Huh. Hey, I don't blame you.
But yeah, WrestleMania weekend, man. You going on Thursday. What you got planned for the weekend?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm gonna pop up at Wale Mania, see how that's hitting. It's a lot of indie wrestling. You've been to WrestleMania. This is my first Mania, so
Yeah.
it's exciting. I looked at a list of the stuff's going on. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be hitting up all of that indie wrestling events that's going on, but I think I might go to ROH, of course,
Mm.
Stand Deliver, and I still hadn't bought my Mania tickets, so
Oh my God.
I like to live on the edge. Now I got feelers out there. I'm not gonna be, sitting with my dick in my hand. I like to see how the prices drop. And so far they dropped a lot this week. So I'm keep it going. See if it could drop a little bit more.
What about WrestleCon? You got any interest in hitting up something like that?
Other than that, nah. What am I gonna do? Get an autograph
You're
from
not into the meet and greets?
nah.
Even
Get
if you don't do anything, it's just fun to walk around those and just see the I mean, it's like $25 to get in WrestleCon. You go in, you walk around, see all the wrestlers interacting with people and shit like that. Like I'm a autograph person. Like I like I mean, I've only got like 5 or 6 of them, but they're ones that mean like I have a world title that I want all the black world champions to sign. And so far I've got Mark Henry, Booker T, and Ron Simmons.
a word.
So I need Lashley, Kofi. I'll never get The Rock. Mark Henry told me I can give up on that shit. When I told him he when he was signing it, I said, "Yeah, I want all the black world champions." I said I need Kofi, and I don't think Lashley had won it yet because this was in Dallas. I
Mm.
said I need Kofi and The Rock. I said, but I don't think I'll ever get The Rock. And he said, "Man," he said, "Let me tell you something." He said, "Dwayne did a signing." This is what he said. He said he did a signing, and just to get your item in the room, you needed 5 figures. I said, "What
Jeez.
now?" He said, "Just to get your item in there, you don't get to see him sign it. They just put it in the room, and he goes through and signs it all." He said he made so much money on that. I said, "My God in heaven." I said, "Well, I can cancel that one." And Mark Henry was cool. Ron Simmons was cool. Booker T was cool. I think Mark Henry and Ron Simmons are probably not that Booker wasn't, but they were more
Personable.
yeah. Not that Booker wasn't. Again, like he was talking to my ex about her hair, about how he liked her hair. So maybe that's why, because I didn't have any hair. But but
uh,
yeah, I got a world title like that. Obviously, I got an autograph from Sting on an action figure that's pretty rare. And then I got when Mickey James is on Boot to the Face, she put on Instagram like a promo, well, her publicist, I think, and she shared it. And it was like a promo of when Boot to the Face was gonna air with her on it. I printed that out and put it on a 8x10. She signed that for me. So like the shit that I got is kind of like I don't just get signatures from everybody, but the ones I do, like they're cool. Uh
so you got this in Dallas. In Dallas,
which one?
I think you said Mark Henry or
Mark Henry, I got in Dallas. Booker T, I got in New York. And Ron Simmons, I got in Chicago when I went to the first All In. And then
Hey,
Sting, I got in Winston Salem, and Mickey James, I got in Winston Salem.
yeah, he should have got Lashley in Dallas. He was champion.
In Dallas?
Yeah, this was the Stone Cold when he was headlining, right? When he was
Yeah.
fighting
Okay. Yeah.
KO.
Lashley had been champion. You're right. But WWE didn't have their people accessible. Like this year, I think is the first year WWE's people are really going to be accessible since COVID. Like once COVID happened, because
Mm.
I had the first WrestleMania in Tampa. I actually had a meet and greet with Becky Lynch, and I got a fucking women's title with her nameplates on. I was gonna get her to sign that, and COVID canceled that. And you know, she doesn't do book signings and shit like that in Atlanta or like the random places people see her at. So WWE's people are a little harder to get in touch with if you're not like spending a shitload of money. But like former WWE people and AEW, all those people that do like WrestleCons and WrestleCade, like it doesn't cost a lot and it's fairly easy to do. And honestly, those are more personable than the WWE shows where they're just like trying to get everybody in and out. At like WrestleCade and WrestleCon, it's more like, they can take the time and talk to you and shit like that. So speaking of autographs, EJ, one of the items we're giving away for WrestleMania T-shirt week, which started yesterday, is an autographed Cody Rhodes Bully Club shirt from Cody and Brandy that signed it. So,
A word.
yeah, I posted that on the old X machine. If you're not participating in WrestleMania T-shirt week, you can still do it. One entry per day. First, second, and third place. I tagged Cody in the post today. I was hoping he was gonna like donate to the cause, but he didn't even like it or anything.
He's too
So
big time now that he's back in the WWE.
I mean, I see him doing shit for people all the time to tag him and stuff. That's why Roman's gonna beat his ass on Sunday.
I feel like he picks and chooses for uh, marketing strategy and for the PR, the good PR.
You don't say.
But yeah, he's not like he was when he was on the Indies and AEW. Got a little bit too big for his britches.
Yeah, trying to go one on one with the great one. End up getting his ass whooped the last couple nights. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get into some it's WrestleMania week. Are you excited? I'm excited. This is like my favorite week of wrestling. And then the week after that, I'll be in Vegas, but the Masters comes on.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I start paying attention to baseball. So yeah, this is a good time of year for it not to be football season.
Who's the favorite for Masters?
Shit, I couldn't tell you. I don't start paying attention to golf until the Masters.
Tiger back?
I don't even think I think he might still be hurt. I'd have to look into that. Um, Fallon Henley and Jason Jane are going at it right now.
Ooh,
I'm not
I'm,
mad at it.
I'm a Fallon fan. JC Jane not so much. But NXT is hitting, I'm sure. Watch that
You know,
later.
whatever. Like, I don't give a fuck if people get mad about this. I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Jason Jane's like hot, but like not hot.
I don't
That
even know
makes
what that means.
that doesn't make sense. Like, she is hot, but it's like she wouldn't be somebody I would be attracted to, but she is a good looking woman. Does that make sense?
You know,
Kind of like you
but
can appreciate somebody for being like fit and whatever, but she's just not my type. Put it like that.
everybody has preference. If not your cup of tea, not your cup of tea.
She's no Fallon Henley. She's no Kiana James
Yeah,
standing legs are
she's
short.
she's no fantastic wrestler like the woman you just named. That's what you're referring to, right? When she
Nah, I was
said
talking
she's
about
no.
her being hot. I was talking about
I was
I was
trying to
not.
trying to
You ain't
bail
gotta
you out on
save me. I
that
don't give a
one.
shit. Abandon ship, EJ.
Gee, I'm gonna
Also,
try and
shout
get
out
canceled.
to Jeff from Fully Posable. Uh he'll randomly text me. And you remember we were talking about me going to ROH in New York a couple weeks ago and we were trying to figure out who wrestled who. And
Mm.
he'll randomly text me like, "You dumb fuck. Naito wrestled Ibushi." I mean, he don't say it like that, but he's basically saying that. But yeah, Jeff from Fully Posable, him and his brother are They're doing a meetup up in Philadelphia. I think it's on Saturday. I could be wrong. I'd have to look into it. They're doing a meetup. Fully Posable was the first action figure, wrestling figure podcast. They were on that show, The Toys That Made Us on Netflix, talking about pro wrestling figures and shit like that. So pretty big time. For a while, they were in a little online feud with Cardona and Myers because their fans and listeners of the other show all fucking hated each other, trying to figure out who were the OGs of action figure collecting. But the beef has been squashed and they're all cool now. But shout out
What were
to
they beefing for?
it wasn't them beefing, it was just like the fans of the shows beefing with each other. And then it kind of spilled over because, like, you know, shit gets said and blah blah blah. And I'll be honest, like Jeff and Scott were way nicer than I would have been. Like they didn't really say anything or do anything. They just let Cardona and Myers talk their shit and they kept on doing what they were doing. But like I said, that's been squashed. They've actually had I know they've had Myers on their show a couple times. I don't know if Cardona's been on their show or not. And the guy that works with Cardona and Myers with shipping, because you know they do their own action figures now. Uh they're called Big Rubber Guys. They were the LJN kind of big rubber we had when we were kids. The guy that helps ship them and shit like that, he's cool with Jeff and Scott, so he's gonna be at the meetup. They got like giveaways and shit like that. So yeah, if you got nothing to do, EJ, I'd swing by there with a Boots to Face shirt on and see if anybody recognizes you.
Are there friends of the show people there? Or
Oh yeah. Well, Jeff and Scott are. I don't know about the other fucking listeners.
I wouldn't see what my purpose there besides to see if anybody recognizes Boot to the Face.
You just go try to win one of the things and hang out with other wrestling fans. Like you don't do action figures and shit though, so I guess yeah, it'd be a little different for you to be there. Like I'd be into it.
Hey, one thing you got to know, Rucker, I don't really like wrestling fans,
Well, that's not very polite.
except the people that listen to this show. We love y'all, but yeah, do without
I
the
like wrestling fans to a certain extent. You know, it's fun. It's fun to go drink with wrestling fans. Wow. I'm loving whoever's in charge of WWE's production crew now. Like them shooting people coming back through Gorilla and in the Gorilla. Like JC James just walked through Gorilla with all of her people and cutting a promo right now, like with Ava Rain sitting over to the side with the producers of the show. I don't know. It makes it look more real to me.
Yeah.
I like it. She talking cash shit too. I don't know what she's saying, but I believe that shit.
Yeah, shout out to production. They've been killing it lately.
Shout out to Keanu James. Just cause. But yeah, a lot of shit's going down in Philadelphia, EJ. I'm excited for you. I actually I can tell you now because it ain't gonna happen. I actually thought about just coming out there for like a day or so and
Yeah,
hitting up,
man.
but it ain't gonna happen. It's like a $450 plane ticket now.
Oh,
Trip.
ain't
Yeah.
cost me that. I mean, I guess
And I
last
then
minute
I
will
have to
do
buy
that.
a hotel and then the Uber and then all the shit. Like I just, you know, just be a lot of money coming up, and I'm traveling the week after to Vegas, so it is what it is. I'll miss Maine. Fuck Philadelphia, shit ass town.
I did a rental because it'd been cheaper overall than Uber because I guess I got it for so many days. It's like a little over $100 for like 5 days for a rental. That's definitely gonna be cheaper than an Uber, but
It
then
ain't
you
cheaper
can't.
than DUI because I'd be drinking if I was there.
Yeah, so I gotta pick and I'm probably gonna still get an Uber depending on probably night one of WrestleMania. That's the night I'm really excited about.
Yeah,
Night two, but night
I
one,
definitely wouldn't want to drive to WrestleMania, but
man.
I will say this: you might be doing yourself a service because that Uber trying to leave Dallas for night one was a shit show. We ended up going to fucking PBR and riding the bull for 2 hours after just because we couldn't get an Uber. And then when we finally did, we had to order like Uber Black or whatever and get this big ass SUV just to get back because no regular Ubers are picking anybody up because it was, 60,000 people trying to get Ubers that night.
Yeah. My main thing is like when I want to go somewhere during the day, that'll be annoying getting Uber all day. But for the nighttime stuff, I probably will end up doing that if I drink. If I don't drink, then I'm
Yeah.
driving.
I'm more
So
of an Uber guy. Like, whatever. I'd rather somebody take me there just in case. Like when I go out of town, I don't want any like I don't want to be responsible for anything, including a car.
wow. I got insurance on it. So if somebody try to steal or fuck
I
it
mean,
up,
I
that ain't
hear
on me.
you, but you're still
That ain't on me.
responsible for like
Ain't on me.
keeping up with the keys and driving safely and all that. When I'm out of town, fuck that. Take me to my destination, sir or
That's
ma'am.
I get it, but I like exploring stuff too on my own. So that's always a
Yeah.
fun thing going to different cities, different strokes with different folks.
You know anybody in Philadelphia or it's going to be there?
I do not. So it's all brand new. Like you said, not a big fan of the sports teams over there, especially the Eagles. But
You going to have any Cowboys gear with you while you go out there?
yeah, I might as well, right? Just to see what they say.
Go take a picture with the Rocky statue and your Cowboys hat.
That'd be funny. But I'm excited to see what these cheesesteaks hitting for. I've heard good things about them.
Ooh, damn, you're right. That would be one thing I'd be excited about. An actual Philly cheesesteak. What if it sucks?
Then you'll hear all about it, and you'll see me post something on Twitter, shitting all over on it. Y'all been raving about this, and this is what
Right.
I get.
This is trash. Ugh. Wait till you get the Lincoln Financial Field and just chew it up and spit it out over something that's got an eagle on it.
I'm not wasting no food like that, but I get you. I hear you though.
All right, EJ, we got a lot to predict this week, man. We got Stand and Deliver. We got 2 nights of WrestleMania. This isn't going to be AEW heavy at all, but we're not going to talk about it, but I want to talk about it. And it's actually more WWE because of who said it. Why don't CM Punk just shut the fuck up?
Oh, he went on Ariel Hawani, right?
You hadn't heard any of this? Talking
Nah,
about AEW and what happened with him and Jack Perry and what happened with him and Hangman and how he came back. And if he's going to do one thing, he's going to wait till the biggest week or show in whatever company he's in, and he's going to make it about him. It's
I didn't
ridiculous.
see what he said. I just heard that he went on Ariel Hawani. I didn't follow up on what he actually said on there though. What did he say?
Ain't nothing like worth getting into. It's just like that's what. For example, I listened to Busted Open today. Monday Night Raw was phenomenal last night. It's the go home show to WrestleMania. They talked about CM Punk the whole fucking show.
That's what they
Every
do on Busted
segment they
Open.
every segment they played a fucking snippet of the CM Punk shit, and that's all they talked about.
They do that often on Busted Open. When you want to hear about something, they might hit it for like 5 minutes and then go off on a tangent and do their own thing.
Bro, I was so excited to listen to them talk about Revolution when I came back from
Yeah,
Greatest
they
Bro.
barely talked about it. That's
And they
insane.
talked about it for like 25 minutes, and the rest of the time it was Dave talking about that goddamn pink robe.
I don't know. I know you weren't. What was his name? Larry Dallas. I know you weren't a fan, but I feel like when Bully took over, it just brought a whole different vibe.
I liked Larry Dallas for a minute, but the longer somebody stays around, the longer you see them who they really are, and he's just a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't really dig on what was his off the radio stuff after he left the show.
I mean, he's still in wrestling and stuff like that, but or he was at least. He was. I think he was commentating for a. I want to say it was Noah, maybe in Japan. He was the English commentary team. But fun fact about Larry Dallas: right after Busted Open, he agreed to come on Boot to the Face, and the week he was supposed to do it, he ghosted us and never fucking responded to anything again.
Well, Well, that's the main reason why he's a piece of shit.
Well, that's not it. He said some stupid shit, done some stupid shit. I remember he was drunk as fuck on the after show for Busted Open. I was just like, that's like this is your job. That's not funny
I
for you.
didn't. I
That
didn't.
fucking yeah, it was. I want to think it was the night in New Orleans. I could be wrong, but him and Dave did an after show like right after. They literally, and you could tell Dave was fucking frustrated and annoyed, but he was drunk as shit. And it's like you knew going into it that you were gonna have to be on the air. But anyway, whatever. I've been drunk on the air before, but I don't get paid like that. So when they fired his ass and hired Bully, I was like, I kind of get it.
I don't even listen during the week unless I literally run out of stuff to listen to. I like the weekend edition. I don't really like Denise Salcedo. I like Mark Henry, and then I like the Sunday edition is my favorite with Jonathan Hood and the other guy's name can't remember. Justin LeBar.
I always listen during WrestleMania time, like from Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. They usually like they interview a lot of people, and I don't know. It's just this year's been different. I hadn't been feeling it, but it is what it is. Whatever. Um,
Enough plug-in busted open.
right. They don't talk shit about us. Um, let's get into the power rankings and street clothes of the week, and then we'll go right to Stand and Deliver. A match has just been announced for Stand and Deliver, 6-woman tag between Thea Hale, Fallon Henley. What's my girl, little light skinned chick with the curly hair, real skinny?
Oh, that's my favorite. I'm rough. I'm like whipping on her name. I can't remember.
Yeah, her.
Not Jada Parker, it's the other one.
I would know Jada Parker.
She was in that match where they
Yeah, if you say her name, I'm gonna immediately be like, yeah, 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 but I can't think of it right now. Versus JC Jane, Kiana James, and not Santino's daughter because she got injured.
Kalani something, wasn't it?
Kalani
Kalani.
Jordan.
Yeah. Kalani Jordan.
Mhm.
Yep.
So a 6-woman tag for Stand and Deliver has been announced tonight. Um, but let's do power rankings, EJ.
Let's get it.
I'll go first. My number 5, still your TNT champion after defeating Matt Cardona. I feel like this went under the radar. I just watched this today and accidentally like saw who came out, and it was Matt Cardona. But Adam Copeland beats one of the Edge heads.
And kind of beat me to it because he wasn't gonna make my list when you brought him up with the toys. I was gonna add in. I'm like, meant he had a surprise pop up at Collision. I was gonna mention that, but I figured we talk about it in power rankings. It kind of came out of nowhere.
How the fuck did people actually think he was Edge back in the day, whether he had long hair or not? They were built nothing alike.
I don't think people thought he was it. They just dressed him up alike, and the commentators made you think that they looked alike. Him and uh, uh what's that?
Brian Myers.
Yeah, Brian Myers. What was his name in WWE?
I could fucking tell you. Major Brothers.
Yeah, he always lost. He had that losing streak until they won the tag team championships.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither one of them look like Edge. So that smells like Vince McMahon all the way. But yeah, fans were into that match too. Like he got a big pop.
Yeah, until the match started. He did.
You said until the match started.
I'm saying they were booing him because he, was tearing up people's signs and shit. I actually watched it. But yeah, Copeland gets the win, retains his TNT championship in the Copeland Open or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Cope Open. The Cope Open.
That's my
Yeah,
number 5.
that's your number 5. My number 5 is the winner of a 4-way match on Dynamite. I think you're a fan of this woman. I don't really hear about you talk about her much. Willow Nightingale.
Like Willow.
She beat Chris Statlander, Anna Jay, And your girl Sky Blue.
I don't like that.
You don't like her being Sky Blue?
No.
Why not?
Sky Blue's like my Liv Morgan.
Sky Blue's got more charisma than Liv Morgan.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, she's got more of a character, in my opinion, right now.
Yeah. I think Liv Morgan's a better wrestler, but I will say Sky Blue has better character development. Sky
So
Blue, Cora Jade, they could literally pass for sisters.
I'm the one that mentioned that a bunch of times. They've kind of like been going off on both of them were going in different directions as far as character because they both came out with the skater type things, and
Yeah.
then now Cora
Dark.
J's the mean girl and Sky Blue is the gothy dark character that she got the miss. But yeah,
Talk
yeah.
about the Major Brothers subbing in for Edge. If you had fucking Cora Jade run out for Sky Blue, nobody would know the difference.
Hey, if Sky ever jumps ship to the other company, they should do that, run that angle. That'd be a interesting tag team.
Yep.
But shout out to Willow, my number 5. My number 4 is a guy who's been on a run with these matches, and I mentioned him a few weeks ago. Maybe I spoke
Light
into his
Skin
existence.
Thunder.
Ricochet defeated Ivar on Raw, and WWE is a storyline company, but recently he's just been getting over with the fans with his wrestling. Let's see if the momentum can keep up. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what you do with him to keep it going because he's already been an Intercontinental Champion. I don't think they have any plans on him getting back into that scene. I just keep wrestling.
I mean, you know who Gunther took the Intercontinental title from, don't you?
He did Ricochet. Maybe
I
they're
don't think
setting that
Sami
up.
Zayn's gonna win it at WrestleMania. So why not build Ricochet up and then at one of these big shows overseas? Oh boy, here comes Lola Vice. I gotta turn this off. I can't concentrate. One of these shows overseas, have Ricochet win.
Nah, if you
No.
do it
Okay.
overseas, you
Just
do
go ahead
it.
and shit on my idea.
If you do it overseas, and especially in Europe, have Gunther win. You could have Ricochet win over here if you wanted to do that. I don't know. I don't know if he's the person to do it. Let's see. I gotta see if the momentum keeps going. Right now, fans seem to be into it, but he's not like blowing the roof off with reactions. But the fans appreciate it, once the match is in the middle of it and when it's done.
Hmm.
So I like what he's doing right now. And I think he's been a Triple H guy, right? I feel like Triple H, that was a big signing when he got him in NXT. Stuff with Prince Puma beforehand. But shout out to Ricochet. My number 4.
My number 4 is the same as yours. When Ivar ran at him and tried to do that splash and Ricochet fucking caught him and hit him with a who the fuck knew Ricochet was that strong?
Yeah, he get him in a fall away slam.
He hit him with a fall away slam. I don't know. I think if he keeps having matches like that, good storytelling in the match as opposed to storytelling before and after. I think the crowd's gonna get behind him, man. Especially if he keeps hitting that fucking uh what is it, 620 splash?
Yeah, he switches between that and the shooting star.
Yeah. He starts using power in his game too. Cause that was fucking ridiculous. That late in a match with a man that big and he comes flying in and you catch him like that and hit him with a fall away slam. Ricochet's what, like 190?
Hmm.
Ricochet's a little dude. Not little, but he's little. Um, that's just impressive.
I wonder if this is like Triple H's reaction now that he sees on the other side of the fence how Ospreay's been putting these matches, and him and Ricochet got a history together, and he's like, I'm gonna cut Ricochet loose a little bit. We could do stuff like that over here too. I wonder if that's a Triple H reaction.
I mean, it sounds a little petty, but you might be right.
So, hey, who wins? The fans win when you put on performances like that. That was your number 4.
My number 3 I wish we had some kind of alert for people that make it for the first time.
Oh wow, this is monumental right here.
Yeah. Never before on the Boot to the Face Power Rankings is your new number one contender for the TNA Knockouts Championship, SDL herself, Steph DeLander, with help from Matt Cardona to win.
Yeah, he kind of popped out of nowhere. He popped up on both shows. Now that you mentioned it, I watched
Yeah.
Impact too. I forgot to put those two and two together.
A very confusing match. It was like a four-way, it was a
Yeah,
eight woman tag, but
and then the
like the
winners go
winner.
in a four way. Yeah, they've done that before, but it is a little confusing.
Yeah. But I'm glad that I like Steph DeLander. She's really good on social media. Interactive too. If you like, people talk shit about her and she'll make it like her thing. Some dude called her a big tittied idiot, and that was her fucking screen name for a while. But she's funny. I didn't pay much attention to her in NXT, but since she's been on the indies with Cardona, I think I don't know. I think some wrestlers are better suited for not being in big companies. Like I think some wrestlers are better suited for indies because they just have a personality that a corporation wouldn't want, that would be good for it, but they wouldn't want it. And I think she's got a really good personality. She's personable. Um,
I
and
always
she's
forget her
funny.
name when she was in WWE because she remember, was she matched up with Indy Hartwell, her Indy and Loomis, and her and Duke Hudson. Yeah, like oh,
Again, I can't remember. I honestly don't know.
can't remember her name, but yeah, shout out to her. Like you said, some people are more suited for the indie scene, and you can
And
make a lot of money.
shout out to your girl Jordan Grace. Steph posted a picture of herself earlier in a gold bikini and said, I look good in gold. I can't wait to get that TNA Knockouts Championship. And Jordan Grace said, yeah, you got nice tits, but you're not getting the title.
That's hilarious.
And true. At least,
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
least half of it.
I
You
mean,
figure out which half.
I could kind of put two and two together, but yeah, shout out to her. Yeah, that is a first because she never made my list. So Steph Landry, number three. My number three is a guy we just talked about. Will Ospreay put on another banger. This was wrestled a little
Another
bit
one.
different against Shibata. So he shows he doesn't it has to have to be all high flying. It was more ground based stuff in this one. Probably due to Shibata, but still. I don't really know where you go with Will Ospreay because he's gonna keep putting on matches, but how long can you keep him away from the title, especially how over he is with the fans?
Spada tried to knock that nigga out. He was
Hey,
hitting that boy so hard. I was like, do they not like each other? But then it's like, well, I guess the point of winning the match is to beat the other motherfucker's ass. So, but Shibata was fucking, he was getting after it with them forearms.
and shout out to AEW because when they do bad stuff, people are quick to point out, but when they're actually trying to, tweak some things, like they've been showing
Yeah.
more video packages and stuff with showing you the
Yeah.
history, and that's what people been asking for. So they showed like Shibata and Will Ospreay back in New Japan. And
I think AEW is in like a little bit of a slump for the past few months since all the punk stuff happened at Wembley. But I also think it could be like an overreaction as to how people are like, oh, the company's dead, blah, blah, blah. Like, relax. They got a lot of good wrestlers, they got a lot of good people. They just, it's a growing pain, man. They're not a new company anymore. I do roll my eyes when people say, they're still a new company. No, they're not. They've been around 5 years. It's not new anymore. You know, 5 years at a job, you get to pick something out of the catalog now, when your 5 year anniversary happens. But I think they'll be fine. I think they'll grab the momentum back eventually. Now, are they going to take it from WWE? Right now, WWE is a fucking snowball. Like they are so good right now, but AEW doesn't need WWE fans. They need their own fucking fans, and I think they're going to get it. I don't know why, but just Revolution, Dynamite, and Collision here in Atlanta. Like you just see how much talent they actually have when you go see it in person. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I just think it's just gotta promote and get people in the building and
Yeah.
as far as on screen stuff, they're trending in the right direction. So good for them on that front. Uh, that was my number three. I guess that goes to my number two since you did four and three, right?
Yep.
No, you didn't. Did you do your three yet?
I did
Steph Lander was your three.
Ricochet, Copeland, and Steph
Okay,
Landers. I did three.
I always lose track. But my number two is Bianca Belair winning the main event on SmackDown. It was a Dakota Kai, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a solid match, and what happened after the match, had big implications. But I can't remember the last time the woman main event in SmackDown.
And
Probably
basically,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I can't remember the last time a woman main event in SmackDown. I know Becky main event in Raw. Uh, maybe Bailey, and I don't know. I, time's just going by so fast, I lose track.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Bianca.
I was gonna say it was basically the go home edition of SmackDown, but technically it's not. Next this Friday is they'll have, Solo versus Jay. So they're actually gonna have, and I think the Andre the Giant Battle Royal will be on there too. Um, but yeah, shout out to Bianca and Naomi and Jade.
Yeah, I guess we'll get into that a little more when we do the predictions.
Ah,
Talk about how they build that up. Something entertaining must be going on in NXT.
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but Lola Vice is a menace.
Indeed, she is.
My number two is now your number one content. Well, I take that back. She's right now ranked number one and gonna face the number two wrestler. She defeated Lady Frost, and she more than likely will face Tony Storm at Dynasty Thunder Rosa.
Man, she's been like quietly, no, like you said, building herself back up and she's number one contender now. So shout out to Thunder Rosa, even though I'm not in love with her new theme music. I like the last one. Oh, but
Thunder Rosa.
she like
They changed their
revamped
music.
herself. What's that?
They changed their music.
Yeah, she had new music ever since she came back, and she like revamped her look a little bit. Remember, she did like half and half face paint.
Yeah.
Now she just
She's got
paint
this
the whole
weird
face.
like uh bedazzled things on her cheek now.
Yeah, she's still. She does the full face paint now. Everybody trying to gimmick and fringe off Sting these days.
Hey man, Sting's retired. You can do whatever you want now.
And I guess is Thunder Rosa still on Busted Open? Because when I tuned in, they had Nick Nemeth on there.
Fridays, yeah, he did take over. And then
Oh,
I
so
think
she's gone.
Wednesday, I don't even think Mickey's on there anymore.
Oh
On Wednesday.
wow! So they put Thunder on Wednesday and took Mickey off.
No, I don't know who they got on Wednesday. I'll let you know tomorrow. But Mickey's, she's doing her thing with Al Snow's company, not Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
OVW.
OVW. Yeah. She's working there now. She's rarely on Busted Open.
Hmm. Well,
My number one, EJ,
mm-hmm.
another first timer.
Oh wow! So we got different number ones then.
Huge tag team win over Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Yes, boy.
Oh my goodness!
Get out of here. You don't like Pretty Deadly?
No, I don't like those guys.
Why?
It's just a comedy act. I'm
I
not
mean,
really big in comedy acts.
they got it done in the ring on Friday night when they beat Randy Orton and KO. KO main event at WrestleMania 2 years in a row. And you know what happened to him? He got his ass beat by Pretty Deadly.
with
Yes.
with help from.
You just add stuff to the story that we don't need to talk about, though. Because in the record books, it's just going to say Pretty Deadly defeats Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. It's not going to say with help from Logan Paul.
Well, first time and hopefully last time it'll be on the power rankings.
No, boy.
I don't know. This is something I don't get. Maybe it's a Gen Z type act that I don't get.
I just think they're like the 2024 Billy and Chuck.
I was about to say that. I was going to say something similar. I was going to say they're like that SNL cartoon, that ambiguously gay duo.
Oh my God, EJ, really?
I feel like it was a rip. It's a kind of like a rip off of that. Like their costumes and the outfits. And I'm
Really?
not using it in a derogatory.
And you got mad at me for saying that the women were hot earlier.
No, I'm not. I'm not calling them gay. If you look at the skit, the guys weren't gay, but it was implied. But they never said they were gay.
Yeah, like Billy and Chuck.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You use a similar example. It's funny that you brought that example up. I don't know. I was a
Yes,
Billy
boy.
Gunn fan. It's definitely not my number one on my list, and kind of shocked you put them so high on your list. Actually,
they beat 2 Hall of Famers
by nefarious means.
It doesn't matter. They won. We put Steph DeLander on here, and Matt Cardona beat up a woman. If you get hurt,
she was not as high on your list.
She was number 3.
All right, we're gonna agree to disagree.
I don't agree.
My number one, couldn't leave this guy off my list. He's now your number one contender for the AEW World Championship. And it's going down a dynasty. I'm gonna have to pop up now. I can't miss history.
Yeah.
They're smart. They'll pull a trigger. He swerves when he drives with my match of the week with him and Takeshita. What a banger. Swerve Strickland, my number one in your power rankings.
I really got to start writing stuff down because that's so long ago. I don't even remember that happened last week.
I feel like you were talking about other stuff on Dynamite too. When we were just, maybe not. You talked about the Collision, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Collision was more recent. But you're right. Like, that match was phenomenal. And Swerve getting a shot at the titles, like, he better fuck. That was why I was also looking up St. Louis stuff too. But I'll never go back to that city again.
Hey. I mean, I don't want to talk down the city, so I'll just pass on things.
I'll do it for you. It was a shithole. Trash everywhere. Trash on the highway. You couldn't even tell when you were getting off on the exit. You didn't know if it was a fucking street, if it was a bike path, if it was a trash compactor. You didn't know where you were going. I'm in a Silverado.
Hey, I live too close to talk trash. So any listeners in St. Louis,
fuck them.
We love y'all out there in St. Louis.
Don't say we. You don't speak French. You love them. Fuck them.
All right, what we got next?
Street clothes of the week.
I think I went first last week.
I'll go first this week. Jay Cargill. Woo!
I can't even remember what she had on.
Damn near nothing.
Well, that explains it.
She came out and signed her contract with Nick Aldis. She's wearing like literally almost nothing. It was like a flesh-colored one piece that only covered up the good stuff.
Hey, they've done a good job of presenting her so far without her. She only wrestled at the Rumble, so they're making her look like a superstar. So hopefully they could keep that going.
Well, she's about to wrestle at WrestleMania.
Yeah, in a 6-woman match, which is good because she don't have to do a whole lot.
Yeah,
get the hot tag and keep it pushing. But yeah, shout out to her outfit. My street clothes rest of the week. one of Rucker's favorite wrestlers,
Mm.
and I'm not being sarcastic. Becky Lynch. She had the leather.
Hey,
She had the leather get up, the leather hat, and then Rhea came out and wanted all the smoke, and they went back and forth. And you know, shout out to Becky Lynch for her outfit.
I just got my signed copy of Becky Lynch's book today in the mail. I'm gonna read it on the plane on the way to Las Vegas.
I was just about to mention her book. She's been all over the place promoting it recently.
Yep,
Hopefully it's a good read. You have to give a review on it on Boot to the Face.
no problem. I will. But yeah, I'm gonna read it on the plane since Southwest doesn't do entertainment.
They
I'll read a
don't.
book. At least not the plane I'm on. Doesn't have any kind of TVs or anything in the back of it, unless I change planes.
Oh, yeah. It's like it depends on the size of the plane with American, whether you're gonna get TVs or not, and how long
Yeah.
the flight is. But that's
Well,
why,
Southwest. I mean, it's 4.5 hours, I think, to get from Atlanta to Vegas.
yeah,
You think they give us some kind of entertainment, but they don't.
that's why you don't have a iPad or a tablet.
Yeah, I mean, I have all that. I'm saying I would like them to provide me with it, where I don't have to do my own thing. Like put a
Oh,
TV on the back of the fucking seat.
why are you being bougie? Like I usually, even when they have TVs, I usually like
Why I gotta
download
do
my own.
bullshit?
Because I mean, I get it, but even when they have TVs, I usually download stuff to my tablet. Just so that's when I catch up with wrestling when I have to travel. I download all the shows to the tablet and watch them.
I don't know how to do all that. The only thing I know how to download is Netflix, and I don't have it anymore.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I might have to tell you, it's on those websites I give you. They always have a download link for shows.
No shit.
Yeah, so like when you're
I
not
need to
connected
start
to
doing
them,
that because sometimes I wait too long to watch them, and then the
there you
show's not
go.
anymore.
Yeah, they provide all the download links on like on the same page.
Wow, I never knew that.
When
I'm gonna I'm gonna read a book, EJ. I'm gonna be fucking sophisticated. I'm gonna sit there reading a book. Hopefully it's good. Because if it's shit, it's gonna be a long flight.
reading is fundamental, what they say.
I think the last book I read was probably a wrestling book. I think Booker T's book was the last one I read.
Oh, word. Was that
Hmm.
any good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Booker T, can you dig it, sucker?
I read the pedophiles book too in R&B.
Ah, can he not read? I thought he couldn't read.
He's dyslexic. Yeah, I'm not dyslexic. What's the word for it?
Illiterate.
Illiterate. They say. I'm like, how you illiterate and you using all these analogies and shit? That's a lie.
He could be able to
Just
speak English, but not be able to write well.
I mean,
Read.
yeah, but he was using like analogies and big words and shit like that. That if you couldn't read and understand shit, you wouldn't be able to do. Like, I think that was a lie. I think
No.
that's Shawn Michaels saying he lost his smile when he just got his ass kicked by a bunch of Marines. It's a gimmick,
Some people are like idiot savants.
maybe, maybe. All right, EJ, we're gonna have to take a little quick break because I'm gonna have to go refill my drink before we start doing this prediction part.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Boot to the Face. We'll be right back.
Well, EJ, let's get to some predictions, shall we? NXT Stand and Deliver this Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not mad at it. Wake up, go to the gym, give me a Bloody Mary. After the gym, obviously.
Ugh. Tomato juice. It's just gross, man, in the words of Dave Chappelle. But to each his own. But yeah, I'm gonna have to be there early. I don't know how I feel about that.
Can't stay out too late for Wale Mania.
But I'll be fine. If this is out till noon, you say, right? 11 a.m.
11 a.m. You probably need to get there about 10 if you want to.
I don't think it that early. It says 11:30 on this website.
You're not like me. I like to get like I want a souvenir shirt when I travel and go to a wrestling event. I want some shit that says I was there on it.
I don't need all that. I just go there, take a few pictures. I don't got enough room in my bag to be buying stuff, and I'd rather spend money on like food.
I feel you. I feel you. People do different things. Whatever.
Like since you're talking about action figures and getting stuff signed uh by the wrestlers at these conventions. See, I see that makes sense getting stuff signed at wrestling conventions if you go, but it's weird. You got some weirdos that go and just want to meet the wrestlers, like not a groupie like that. But I
I don't make
digress.
people a weirdo, EJ.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They bleed just
Really?
like you and me.
I don't know if you're a wrestling fan and these are people you look up to and you can pay $40 to go get a picture with them. Why not?
I looked up to Jesus. I don't look up to another human being. But I guess I get it. But I digress. But I was gonna say, ever since I started watching again, back when I was young, I used to have wrestling figures, the ring, I collect the CDs and stuff. The only thing I really have like gotten into since I started watching again, and like I've been buying t-shirts, but I hadn't even really gone crazy. But looked at my drawer, I'm like, these t-shirts have been piling up a little bit. I'm running out of space. So t-shirts are really the only thing I've been doing. But when I go out to events, those t-shirts are usually overpriced. So
Yeah, that's why I get one of them. I'll do like I said, I usually get the like Revolution in Orlando. I got a shirt. It says like Orlando Revolution and All In, I got a shirt. All Out, I got a shirt. WrestleMania, I got a shirt. Uh WrestleMania, the shirt was dope because it was in Dallas. It was a Dallas Cowboys shirt that had WrestleMania on it, you know? Got two of those, as a matter of fact, one to rock and one to put up. Um Revolution, I didn't get one because they sold out of the one that I wanted. I ended up ordering one online, which doesn't feel the same, but I got to keep it crispy, just in case. I got one at the Royal Rumble I got a hoodie at the Royal Rumble that Admire bought me when we went to St. Louis. Um, in Nashville, I got a shirt when we went to SummerSlam. Like, I always get a shirt when I go to these places. I don't know why. I'm not gonna do anything with it. Maybe one day I'll get into like sewing shit and make a blanket out of them or something. I don't know.
or get somebody to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to these stand and deliver predictions, EJ. We got a lot of predictions to get through in the next few minutes.
Stand and deliver. Like always with these predictions that we do, I don't look on WWE's website. Um, I'm on the good old Wikipedia page, so I don't know if this is the right order or not. I don't know if maybe you can see it on WWE's page on your end, but I have it up in front of me,
I don't
Wikipedia
think the
page.
order matters.
So yeah, this is definitely not going to be the order. It may be, you never know, but I don't know, 'cause the way they have it, I don't know if I want to start with the World Championship match. They got that as number one. They got the NXT Championship. Why not? F it. Ilya Dragunov, the champion, versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship. How do you like the build-up for this? I know you're not a big Tony D fan.
Really not. I'm not a Dragonoff guy either.
Hmm. So you probably don't give two shits about this matchup
Not
then.
not really. Like honestly, I don't even see who's gonna beat either one of them because Trick and Mello are probably going into the main roster. So I'll just say keep it on Dragon. You can't have Tony D'Angelo as a fucking champion.
I got Dragunov as well. I could see Tony D doing well on the main roster. He's got like a character built for where the fans would like that for some reason. Uh, Next match, your boy Baron Corbin and Braun Baker, champions, versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Give me Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah,
The Baron Corbins.
I'm a little torn on this one because Braun Breaker's a SmackDown guy, and I feel like this is a way to get him up there permanently. But Nathan Frazier and Axiom, that's not even a real tag team. So that's why I think I'll take Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker as well to retain. Your next matchup, Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship.
I'm gonna go with Roxy.
Hmm.
I think Lyra's had her run. She beat Becky Lynch. She's had the belt for a while. The title run hadn't really done much for her or the title. Roxy's turned heel. I'm gonna go Roxanne.
Why do you like Roxanne's heel turn so much?
I mean, it just happened, right? Like a couple weeks ago, but I don't know, just I feel like she's just more interesting. I didn't like her as a babyface. As a heel, like it's so stupid, right? Like she starts wearing darker clothing, darker lipstick, like aesthetically, she just looks more like a superstar now than she did beforehand. Talking a little bit of shit, I like that.
Hmm. I don't dislike it, but I'm not fully convinced on it yet. I want to see how it plays out. But I think I'll take Roxanne Perez as well because Lyra Valkyrie's been fine, but hasn't, blown my socks off or anything like that. But so I guess so far we picked all the same people. Let's go to this next one. A guy that I hadn't really heard your opinion on. I guess we'll see now. We got Obi Femi, the champion, versus Dijak versus Josh Briggs for the triple threat for the NXT North American Championship.
I can't wait to see him and Omos fight.
What? Omar hasn't been on TV in forever. I think he does house shows.
So what?
Where'd that
Doesn't
come
matter
from?
to him. Because he's just two big bad motherfuckers that need to fight each other.
What
Big
makes you
meat men slapping meat.
what makes you think that Omos is gonna be back on TV anytime soon?
Why wouldn't he be for this? This will put Obafemi over. Him beating up Omos, whooping Omos's ass, slamming him around like nobody's ever done before. I don't even think Brock slammed Omos around really. He F5'd him, right? But like he didn't throw him around.
I don't know. It sounds kind of like
Speaking of, he's on TV right now.
that sounds like a Mandingo matchup. We just putting them against each other because they're black and African.
Don't do that.
But
Don't don't
I just did
don't
it.
make me out to be the fucking regular white neck beard on the internet that puts black people in the same stable. I'm saying Omos is a big motherfucker, and so is Femi, and they can fucking have a big. Who else is big enough? What's my boy's name that Ricochet just beat? Ivar or my boy from South Africa? Not South Africa. Where's he from? He wears the singlet like the Steiner brothers. He went to New Japan and came back.
Oh, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, you gonna have him against Bronson Reed? Bronson Reed ain't big enough. You need
Yeah,
Obafemi to beat up Omos. Pick the biggest motherfucker on the block and knock him out.
that's a lot to unpack with
Anyway, I got Obafemi winning this match.
a lot to unpack with that. I don't think Obi Femi is gonna be on the main roster anytime soon. So that's one hurdle.
But when he gets there, Omos is gonna be waiting.
When he gets there, Omos may have his pink slip to be on out of the company. But shout out to Omos anyway, whatever he's doing. But yeah, I got Oma Femi too. That should be interesting. Next match is a match that
Hold on. One that's not on your page. Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan taking on Jason Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame.
well, if you were to give me a second, this is the one I was about to announce next because it is
Oh,
over
my
there.
bad. I didn't know you had an updated list. It literally just happened.
Yeah. So to repeat what you said, Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan versus JC Jane, Kiana James, and Izzy Dame, 6-woman tag team match. This is just a match they threw on just to give all these women a spot. I guess I'm not mad at it, but I don't really care about it. So give me the baby faces on this one: Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan.
I'm You know, back when Marty was on the show, I would never pick against black people, no matter what. My blackness would not allow me to pick against black people. To a certain extent, I don't think I'm ever picking against Fallon Henley. It's nothing to do with being black. I'm just not picking against her.
Well,
Even in a 6-woman tag. So give me Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan.
well, that lines up well with your other past picks on the show because she's teaming up with a black woman.
Kalani Jordan is. Yep.
Killed two birds with one stone, huh? Next, hopefully this will be the main event for the show.
It will be.
Grudge match. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams.
They've done such a good build to this show, to this match, to this program. I was a big Carmelo fan over Trick for the longest time. But much like most of America, Trick is just a fucking tidal wave of momentum right now. And Carmelo's got to get a different finishing move. Oh my God. Obafemi. That's a bad motherfucker.
I hate moves where you have to wait for somebody to get in a certain position to execute. We've talked about this before.
It's
Even with,
one of the things that bothers me about Swerve Strickland.
I was about to say with Swerve Strickland too. Took words out of my mouth. So him and Carmelo. And Swerve's got other moves though. Maybe he could switch over. He's got the little kicking, but yeah, I don't like the nothing but net. He's got to change that in the main roster.
Yeah.
Who's your pick?
I think he's going to whoop that Trick. I think Trick Williams is going to win. He's got to win.
Yeah, especially no title on the line. It wouldn't make sense for him not to win. And that's what I got too. So this NXT card, we got all the same picks. So
I mean, since Cody's not going to win, somebody's got to go home happy, right? Like,
I mean,
at least
still,
NXT Stand and Deliver, the babyface will win.
well, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Cody's taking 2 L's this weekend, people.
Might be a little bit spoiler alert. What's next? WrestleMania?
WrestleMania!
WrestleMania.
Oh, WrestleMania.
That cheesy song.
Pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. You remember that shit?
It was
Oh,
like on like the mid 90s. I think it was on
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 11, 12, like that era.
That shit was super cheesy. You know another WrestleMania song I've always had stuck in my head? It was WrestleMania 22. I bought the DVD and I was welding, and I was working second shift. It might have been third shift. And I remember getting the DVD and I was so excited about it. And I was watching and I fell asleep and the home screen came up and that goddamn time song was on there.
What song was that?
Big time.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And that shit was playing while I was asleep. Bro, that shit was stuck in my head for like 8 years. Big time.
Oh shit! Don't get it stuck in my head because I remember it now.
So trash. But 22 was also Mickey James defeating Trish Stratus, which I'm gonna watch when we get done doing this show because today was the 18-year anniversary of that.
Legal to you can't even smoke now at 18. It's legal to vote. Technically an adult now, that match.
Man, that's like when you, and for the younger people that are listening, like this is old folks radio, but like my life was so different when that match happened. I had just started dating my ex-wife who I was married to for fucking 14 years. I had no kids. I had just started welding. I just moved out of my parents' house again into a 1-bedroom apartment that was $550 a month. You can't find a 1 bedroom in Atlanta anywhere for less than $1,000 right now. Um, gas was cheaper. Bush was president. I don't know. It's just like just thinking about like where my life was when that happened. Cause it feels like Mickey James beating Trish Stratus was like 5, 10 years ago. It was 18 years ago. I had one of them big ass TVs that you had to push into the room, like the first HD TVs, but they were big as hell. They were the big 60-inch quote unquote flat screen, but it was the projection screens. Yeah, it was different. I drove a Saturn Ion.
I don't know about you, but that shit feels hella long ago to me. I was still in high school back then. Couldn't do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, I mean when you put it in perspective and you actually look at it, you're like, oh yeah, that was a long time ago. But it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, if that makes sense. Like it feels like it was 10 years ago as opposed to 18 years ago. But when you think about like where I was in my life at that time, it was clearly a long time ago. And it honestly doesn't feel like that much time has went by since then. Like 18 years? Are you serious? Anyway.
I get it, but when you think about it, it does feel a long time ago. But you're like, why is time flying by that fast? Like stuff that gets me now is like stuff that happened like 10 years ago. I'm like, man, that was 10 years ago. That feels like 5. But
Yeah.
yeah, mid 2000s. And then even if you go back and look at the stuff, because when you're going through it, you're like, this is like the best technology. You go back and look at stuff from 2006, you're like, I can tell now. That was a long time ago.
Right. Like I said, when you get into it, you're like, yeah, it was a while ago. But when I just think Mickey James beating Trish Stratus, it doesn't seem like it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I
Like I
can
still
see it.
remember I was having a WrestleMania party, and for whatever reason, the cable company fucked up and we couldn't watch the show there. So we all had to jump in a car because there's no Uber then. And we drove up to US Play, which is now a Bolero, and watched it there because back then, bars and like entertainment places around here played the WWE pay-per-views like they do UFCs now.
Oh, wow.
Hooters, um, like old Marlowe's Tavern, places like that, they all played the WWE pay-per-views back then. And you could go there and watch it. So we all jumped in the car and went to US Play to watch it. And when we got there, I think Big Show was fighting somebody. And then the Mickey James and Trish Stratus happened after that. And that's when Mickey fucking reached down and Donald Trumped her and then fucking licked their fingers afterwards, which they've taken off all the DVDs.
As they should.
Should they? I don't know. I thought that was an important part of the match, especially for that storyline.
PG company. They took a lot of stuff off.
What a good storyline, too, back then. That's when I fell in love with women's wrestling. To me, women's wrestling was just tits and ass before that.
Yeah.
And becoming a fan of Mickey James and seeing a woman that could actually like wrestle, I was like, what is this about? Anyway, my bad. We're getting off track.
Yeah. Shout out to Mickey and Trish. Trailblazers.
At least Mickey.
Man, we're not gonna do that to Trish. WrestleMania. Night 1. Which night are you more excited for? Night 1 or night 2?
I don't know what matches are what.
Well, I guess I should have asked you afterwards since you don't know.
I'm more excited for night 1 because I'm actually going to work Monday after night 2, so I probably won't be drunk.
True that. True that.
I usually take Monday off after WrestleMania, but I've got so much vacation and travel and shit like that coming up, and then I want to, me and my kids might go somewhere this summer that I need to save some time for. So I'm trying to cut little corners and not take off when I could actually go to work.
Yes, that's smart. That's smart.
I still might take a sick day though.
So, like we said earlier, we don't know the match order, but it appears we know what match is going to be on what night. So let's kick off. This might be the curtain jerker. It may not be the curtain jerker. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. for the Women's
Mm,
World Championship.
you coming out the gates hot.
So, how do you like the build-up for this one?
I think they could do a little better. Um, I don't know how, I don't know why I'm not a booker, but I think they could have made this a little better. But they've tried the last couple of weeks to spark it up. But I don't know. I feel like they could have did a lot more with this. But it is what it is.
We talked about this last week, but I guess they furthered a little bit with their brawl. But how do you feel about the fans being pervy and the main thing driving Rhea's fandom right now?
I've been talking about that for months.
I know, but
People aren't fans of her because of her in-ring work because she doesn't have any. She's defended the title 4 times since winning at WrestleMania.
5 at the
A year
max.
ago. Right. That was a year ago. Becky even said in her promo, people don't like you because you wrestling. Well, like because you're showing your ass on the internet. And honestly, as a guy that likes hot women athletes, I could care less if that's why people like her. But don't try to like when you get called out for it, don't try to be like, oh well no, she had a great match against That was a fucking year ago. Her and Charlotte. Don't try to act like she's something she's not. You like her because when she got to Judgment Day, she started putting little fucking lifts under her ass cheeks, wearing smaller shorts, and being sexual as fuck when she pins people. And that's the truth. And that's okay if that's why you like her. But don't try to make it seem like it's something it's not. Be honest. You're a fucking pervert.
What about Roman Reigns? He barely defends the title and women love him.
He ain't wearing butt cheek shorts though.
Wrestles with his shirt off.
He ain't fucking putting people's legs behind their head when he pins them.
Hey,
He
can't
ain't doing
argue on that
snake
one.
spaces to Nia Jax and like shaking his cheeks and shit like that.
Can't argue with you on that one. But who do you got?
Much like picking against black people, I cannot pick against Becky Lynch. I don't think she's gonna win, but I'm cheering for her, and that's what makes wrestling fun. Give me Becky.
You have Becky Lynch. I do not have Becky Lynch. Still your women's world champion. I have Rhea Ripley.
Rhea's
But
been champ for a year, and she hadn't done shit with the belt. Give it back to Becky.
well, I don't think Becky's gonna get it. But I think this may be a sneaky candidate for match of the night. I think they're gonna go all out, and I'm excited to see it happen. Next match, Ring General Gunther versus the mostly always underdog, except when he's a heel, Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. And Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship in the history of the company.
Sami Zayn better not win.
Why not? He's the scrappy underdog. And the way they ended Raw, I was like 99% sure Gunther was gonna win, but the way they did their thing on Raw, it put me at like 90% that Gunner's gonna win. It's
Gunther's
that,
gonna.
it's that 10% chance that Sammy may pull it off.
Yeah.
Hmm. You think they're gonna stick to the same formula? Just Gunnar just beating his ass and winning, or
Yeah. Sami's not important enough for that. He got his thing in last year. He pinned Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. Good for him. That was your WrestleMania moment.
the thing that gives me cause for pause that it might be some weird thing going on with this match is the Chad Gable aspect of it. That he's not gonna have any type of involvement with WrestleMania.
I think Chad Gable's gonna turn on Sammy after Sammy loses. Like, motherfucker, I just put you in the Gable Academy. You couldn't even listen.
Hmm. That'd be interesting. I got Gunther too, and I don't know who's gonna take the bet off him at this point. I know you suggested Ricochet, but I don't even know if he'll be the guy to do it. What?
Main event Jey Uso
Might be right, but
running back.
we'll see how that plays out. Next match, 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. The match ends when both titles under the undisputed banner are retrieved, and they made sure to put that caveat in there. So before we get into how you think it's gonna play out, let me announce the participants. You got the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth versus The New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods versus A-Town Down, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller versus the New Cash Republic of Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Who do you got in this one?
Grabbing the blue titles will be Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And grabbing the red titles will be Awesome Truth.
You trying to piss me off today?
I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
You know I despise Austin Theory. Grayson Waller, so. Yeah, by the way, they like emphasize that. Gotta be a team grabbing one title and a team grabbing the other title, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you like that?
Yeah, split the titles back up.
They don't,
It's fine.
I don't think the tag team division is deep enough. I wanted them to like actually make the belt like they did the undisputed title, like have one belt and call it the undisputed. So you split the belts up. SmackDown, they have the Profits, AOP, and Austin Theory, and that's it. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
You're forgetting about my number one power rank team this week. Pretty deadly.
I didn't forget about him. I didn't forget. I purposely meant to not mention him. And New Cash Republic. So I guess you'll just be rotating with 5 teams, I guess.
Got the Good Brothers.
Like I said, you'll be rotating between. I guess you could do it. And
Randy Orton and KO.
that's not a real tag team.
It's a tag team.
I think that's going to happen too, even though I'm not the biggest fan of them doing that.
Jimmy and Solo.
Yeah, I guess you could. WWE's always been known to put ragtag teams together, so they'll probably continue doing that anyway. So I think that's going to happen. But I got Awesome Truth. I think you choose Awesome Truth as well. But I got New Cash Republic taking down the SmackDown belt. So that's my pick. Next match, a grudge match.
Like those.
I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 3rd time that Real Brothers have fought at WrestleMania. Main event, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Yeet versus no Yeet. Build up for this match. People even can complain about it. I think it's fine.
Who's been complaining?
More people said they wish it was weaved a little bit more with what the Rock is doing. So.
I mean, I wanted the bloodline to be out there, especially last night on Raw. I wanted Jay to come out and interact with The Rock and Roman in the middle of all this with Jimmy. Besides, like, The Rock just beating his ass last night. I thought that was weak. Especially with them talking about family first, and I do everything for my family, and then they just whoop Jay's ass and send him, whatever.
Turn his back on the family, though. So you got to get that work.
But I do feel like a couple more promos would have been good between the two of them. I think they had one. And honestly, like, Jimmy got all the good shit in. Like, Jay was like, I miss you, come back. And Jimmy was like, you're a piece of shit, fuck you. So yeah, I kind of agree with the promo aspect of it, but the build's been good. I mean, it's been building since SummerSlam. Like, Jimmy's cost Jay the title 3 separate occasions: world title, intercontinental title, and the tag titles. Like, there's a story there. Brother versus brother. At WrestleMania, there's been Owen versus Brett. What was the other one?
Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy.
The older brother wins every time.
Mm.
These are the first time twins wrestle each other, but technically Jimmy is the older brother. People are saying Jimmy needs to win more. Jay's got to win this match.
Yeah, Jimmy will be fine. So you got Jay.
I mean, Jay Uso is my favorite wrestler going right now. Also, Lil Wayne is just such an ugly motherfucker.
Commenting on the man's looks.
I comment on women's looks. Why can't I comment on Lil Wayne? It's like a fucking gremlin.
What does that have to do with the price of potatoes or bananas?
Because he was with Jay Uso last night. Did you not watch Monday Night Raw?
I saw it, but it's interesting. That's the thing you went to is that he looks like a gremlin.
He does. He looks like the gremlin with the glasses, the smart one. What we want, civilization. That guy. He looks like that gremlin. Same teeth.
I mean, I could go off on a whole lot of other things that's what's wrong with Lil Wayne music, his problematic behavior in the past, but I guess we could go in on this look since you went that route.
Friendship with Skip Bayless. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is fucking gremlin. Anyway, whatever.
I
Jay
I
Uso's
got
my pick.
so I have Jay Uso as well, but I think Jay's gonna take the L at SmackDown this Friday.
Versus Solo.
Yeah.
Solo, who was supposed to be the next top guy, and now he's just the afterthought and everything.
I think Solo wins by nefarious means. What happened with the match yesterday on Raw? Did Seth win?
It was just a schmoz.
So if they didn't have a decision.
Yeah, real quick, I don't like that. Bloodline. You promote the bloodline rules for WrestleMania, and then you just give it away on Raw, and it turns into a shit show. I don't know. I didn't like it, but
Well,
whatever.
I got Jay winning.
Yeah.
Next up, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control, which consists of Dakota Kai, Oscar, and Kairi Sane. And they set this match up pretty fast. I mean, they were, dropping seeds the previous weeks, but Jade Cargill went out and signed with SmackDown and basically immediately set up the match at the end of the show. What are your thoughts on Jay's debut and whatnot?
I liked it. It was kind of weird how Damage Control just beat the fuck out of Naomi and Bianca, and then Jade comes out and just destroys all of them. But it gave her a good shine. It gave her a good the picture of her, Naomi, and Bianca pointing at the WrestleMania sign, like, as black people seeing three black women like looking fucking dope like that for WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. It's pretty good.
And who's your pick?
Oh, Jade, Bianca, and you can't beat Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. Are you shitting me?
Sure you can.
Nah. You gotta have fucking Autobots or some shit like that to beat them.
Especially if you cheat. But yeah, that's what I got as well. Especially her debut. As much time you invested in Jade, you're not gonna have her lose. So we both got that team on that one. Next up, LWO, the Latino World Order. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom Mysterio. A match that I feel like they just threw together last minute.
I don't. Hear me out. I feel like Judgment Day's about to break up, and Dom's about to be the head of a new faction, and he's gonna be the leader.
Seems like it'd be the easiest thing to just have him to be the leader of Legado del Fantasma.
Nah, he can't do that. He's got to have Andrade in it. Maybe they kick out the other members of Legado and just have Santos in it with him, and he just starts his own fucking crew.
Yeah, I don't get what they're doing right now. When you have like faction war, they have the babyface faction outnumbering the heel faction right now. They just added Dragon Lee, which doesn't really make sense. I think they just added them just to add them to the match. They added them to the faction just so they could add them to the match. Now they have like what 5, 6 members. So I feel like Carlito probably should be the one that turns on them. Get him out of there. He doesn't need to be in the faction. I don't know. Hopefully they'll iron this out afterwards. But Ray won last year, so I think the tables turn. I think Dirty Dom and Santos are gonna win this one.
I got same.
Next up, the main event for night one. The Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth. I think ultimately you and me are gonna end up at the same road, but I think this is where we differ to end up at the same road. Who you got on this one?
Bloodline. Cody's gonna eat a rock bottom and look up at the lights.
So Bloodline rules it is. I have Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins winning this. That's gonna be a straight up match between The Rock, not The Rock, Roman Reigns
So
and
who
Cody
takes
Rhodes.
the pin? The Rock or Roman?
Either one of them Negroes could take the pin. It don't matter.
No,
The
you
Rock
can't
takes the
have the
pin.
Rock lose.
The Rock, yeah, the Rock could lose, and that'll be the
You
reason.
can't have the Rock lose.
That'll
If
be the
Cody's
reason.
gonna win the title Sunday night, you definitely can't have Roman lose.
You have the Rock lose, and that'll be the reason why Roman Reigns eventually. Well, no, because that doesn't make sense for my next pick. But you have the Rock lose, or you can even have Roman lose, but have Seth pin him, and have the reason for no bloodline rules. Because if you debut in this bloodline rules, my reason of picking this match too is like you said earlier. What sense does it make to even debut that on Raw having bloodline rules if you're gonna go turn around and do it again on Sunday? It doesn't really make sense to me. So that's one of the reasons I'm picking Cody and Seth. I mean, like you said, who knows who takes the pin because both of them are who they are, but one of them are gonna eat the pin. It might be a weird way they get to it either. They might disqualify themselves. Who knows? Even though people will probably be mad, but I got Cody and Seth winning, especially how the way Raw ended. And that's going to get people's hopes up. And we'll talk about that a little later. But let's move on to night two. Had this as the curtain jerker on this one, but who knows what a placement. I think it would be smart to open it up with this. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Drew's winning. Drew's been so. It's well documented on this show that I was not a fan of Drew McIntyre through the pandemic. I wasn't a fan of, oh, he had to win in front of, TV screens and he didn't get a WrestleMania moment and he was the champion through COVID. Who fucking cares? Everybody went through COVID, not just Drew McIntyre. Right? I was so sick of hearing that. And it put me in such a bad place with being a fan of Drew that I just stopped liking him. The past 6 months, this motherfucker has basically said, Rucker, shut the fuck up. I'm that nigga. And he's just been so good on the mic, and in the ring. He was just street clothes performer of the week a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wearing a leather kilt and a leather jacket. Like everything this dude is doing lately, it's just been so good. There is no way in hell Drew McIntyre needs to lose to Seth Rollins. he has to win the world title.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been killing it. I do got to go back on a thing that I said last week because we also have the CM Punk factor. I don't know, me on commentary. I was kind of almost agreeing with you that CM Punk was going a little bit too inside baseball, but then when I listened back on it, kind of like the stuff that he was saying. Drew McIntyre was kind of going off the cuff, so CM Punk gave it right back to him. I thought it was kind of funny now that he said that. Who called you the chosen one? If we're gonna go off the cuff, then you gotta be able to strike back. So I thought that was funny when I went back and listened to it. But I digress. Yeah, Drew McIntyre's been killing it. I got Drew McIntyre, but if it's now or never for Damian Priest.
So glad you said that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I got. If you want to add on to that.
I feel like McIntyre's gonna win and Priest is gonna cash in on him. And with them doing Clash at the Castle, that's where Drew's gonna get his moment to win the title back there.
It'd be smart if they did it. Have it so it's like a small test run for Priest because I don't see him as a long-term champion. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Priest fan. I just see the intangibles for him. So that'd be the perfect way to do it. Now that they announced that for June. So yeah.
Can't have a world champion. People on Twitter call him bisexual Undertaker.
That's funny. Next match, we got Io Sky versus Bayley. WWE Women's Championship match.
Everything in me wants Io to win, but Bayley's getting this.
How do you want Io to win?
I like Io. I've always liked Io.
I mean, I know we talked about Rhea having the title for a year, but Io's had a nice lengthy run. I feel like this would be a perfect opportunity to get the belt off her. And you did pick Bayley. That's who I'm picking as well. But she had a nice run.
Sol Ruka does some fucking ridiculous moves.
Yeah. She's the product of the NIL. Next in line. That's who they want, athletes. So
right when I said that, Blair Davenport said, "I'm through with this shit." And just pulled a counter on her that was so dope. I'm not spoiling anything, but just yeah.
Next up, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. And the build, I don't want to say it's been bad, but they were kind of on the back burner, especially with The Rock being on the same show. But they've been kind of ramping it up the past few weeks. They had the home invasion, and then they had the angle where LA Knight dressed up as a was it security he dressed up as, and it's not a whole lot of one-on-one matches outside of championship matches on there. So I feel like this is a big spot for both of these guys. Who you got?
This is the first match where I just don't give a fuck about who wins.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. If I had to make a pick based on trying to be right, I'll pick LA Knight.
Hey, say what you want about LA Knight. You got The Rock in the company, but every time he goes out there, the fans still love him. So even though he's not on the forefront of the main storyline, he's been able to, keep himself relevant. And you're gonna need that because I agree with you. I don't think The Rock will be done after WrestleMania, but I don't think he's gonna be popping up like he has recently. So you gotta have people able to keep that momentum. And if they don't put the money in the bank on him this summer, then that's it for LA Knight. I don't think they see anything in him if they don't pull the trigger this summer on that.
Oh, he ain't getting money in the bank.
Who's gonna get it?
It ain't LA Knight.
I gotta see how things play on the next couple months to agree with you on that, but I don't see any other viable option outside of him. I mean, they could go dirty.
LA Knight?
You could go the dirty Dom route. You can go the heel route again, but this heel route that they've been doing with Damian Priest is trash. I feel like you got to get it on a
shit. You go to either one of the Usos. You go to Sami Zayn. You go to KO. You go to fucking Logan Paul. Imagine if Logan Paul had the money in the bank and people thought he was gonna be the next WWE champion. Shit. Heat.
I got LA Knight. Let's move on. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus KO. Speaking of the Devils that you just talked about, triple threat match for the United States Championship.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, I got Logan Paul as well. Randy Orton doesn't need the U.S. Championship, and KO's had that belt before. This might be a show stealer as well. I mean, say what you want about Logan Paul. I know you're a fan of him, and I like his stuff too, but you still got people out there that hate on him just because his social media presence. But he's been killing every big spot he's gotten in the WWE. So I feel like this could be a show stealer in night two.
I mean, he ain't no Bad Bunny, but yeah, you're right.
Nobody's a Bad Bunny. He's I can't say national treasure, but he's a Puerto Rican treasure. It's a territory. It's still a territory of the United States. Next up, we got a match that they just made not too long ago. I don't know if this is an official name, but they got this group named The Pride, Bobby Lashley and Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, with
Lashley got to win this.
versus the Final Testament, Karen Cross, Akram and Rezar, with Scarlett and Paul Ellering. Yeah, I mean, Lashley wasn't on last year's show because he's supposed to face. Now we know why he didn't face Bray Wyatt because Bray Wyatt was sick. But I mean, you gotta have Lashley go over. And I don't know what's going on with the Street Profits. Had him heal, and now they reverted him back to their old music. Like everybody was predicting Montez to be the next up as a single star, and now he's kind of just floating. Like, what are they doing? Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with him.
I thought
Lashley
your
and the
computer
Prophets are
froze.
gonna win. No, my bad. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were asking me. I thought it was
Yeah,
like a rhetorical question.
no,
Like,
it was
what are they doing?
it was an actual question.
I don't know.
But you were a big Montez guy as well.
No, I was a Dawkins guy. I thought Dawkins was underrated, and people were looking past him. And for a while there, he was like, he got in shape, and he was like just doing dope shit. And I thought, damn, Dawkins might be the star of this fucking team. Everybody wants Montez, but I don't know. I think they should keep him together now because they're clearly not going to push him as a single star. So Montez had his shine in Elimination Chamber year before last, and they did nothing with it. So I think they see him as a tag team guy. So just fucking run with him. But I'll take Lashley and Profits in this one.
Yeah, I think I already chose, but if I didn't, I'll choose again. I think Lashley gets it on his Profits just because he didn't have a spot last year. So let's talk about this main event. Once again, in the main event of WrestleMania, the rematch of WrestleMania 39. Your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Match type to be determined, but we both pick opposite on night one. But this is for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. What are your thoughts?
Roman Reigns retains.
Yeah, how do you think it plays out? You chose
By hook or by
chaos.
crook. I did choose chaos, and I don't know how it's going to go, but at the end of the night, Cody's going to be looking up at the lights again. Roman's going to retain, and we're going to be fast forward to Roman breaking Hulk Hogan's record as the third longest reigning champion in the history of the company. And he'll probably drop it at SummerSlam, maybe even to Cody.
I don't know. I just feel like SummerSlam is not it's the second biggest event, but I feel like WrestleMania or a first, which would be them being on Netflix, is a place to drop the title.
Wouldn't be mad at it.
But I have Roman Reigns win as well, just because I think Cody is gonna somehow win night one. Cody and Seth are gonna win night one, and so I don't know. So you think that something's gonna happen on SmackDown with Cody?
Me?
Yeah, it's
No.
coming up Friday.
Why would I think that?
By like just traditional wrestling booking and wrestling logic.
No, they're SmackDown before WrestleMania is really like it's almost like WCW Saturday night. Like, yeah, they're gonna have Jay versus Solo, but for the most part, it's just gonna be recaps and bullshit. And then the Hall of Fame starts right after that. Like, I don't think anything important is gonna happen. Now, if Cody rolled up on Roman while he's trying to induct Paul Heyman, that would be dope. But I don't think anything like that's gonna happen.
You've been watching wrestling way longer than I have.
I mean,
So
motherfucker, I'm only like 4 years older than you.
6, but who's counting? Um,
Clearly, you.
um, so Cody gets bloodied up last Monday. Cody gets his ass whooped this past Monday. Cody gets his ass whooped night one, and he gets his ass whooped night two. That's how you see it playing out.
What do we always say, EJ? You say it better than anybody. The money's in the what?
It's in the chase, but I don't know. I just feel like for story purpose, for storytelling purposes, there's got to be some type of get back. I know it's in the chase, but
You're a Dallas Cowboys fan, EJ. You show up every year hoping that they win, even though the past 30 years have told you that they're not going to win. But you have that hope because you're a fan, you're a fanatic. You love your team and your person that you're cheering for, and you think this year might be the motherfucking year. Yeah, I know Roman beat him last year because of Solo. Yeah, I know Roman's going to win this year because of The Rock. But next year, it might be different. The money is in the belief of the fans of the most popular guy going. When he gets the title, what's there to cheer for? What's there to follow?
I I hear you, but this ain't real life sports. They got the pin. I just don't see Cody just getting his ass handed to him 3 weeks in a row. Like I get it, but
He wouldn't have had it not been for the Cody Crybabies. He was going to go off and do something else, and it was going to be Rock versus Roman.
yeah, I don't see it playing out like that. He's gonna stumble somewhere, and I think it's gonna happen on one of the nights. So that's where we differ on that one. My heart says the outcome I picked, but I can see it happening the other way. I can see it being the bloodline rules on night one. I'm winning on night one, and then Cody winning on night two, which may well happen, but I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. We ran down the whole card.
And then, real quick, before we get out of here, this weekend will be the first time two black men will main event a WrestleMania weekend PLE. Carmelo versus Trick Williams.
Hey, shout out to them.
Still making history. And shout out to Lola Vice for retweeting us.
Hey, shout out to Lola Life.
Well, that's all I got. EJ, you got anything else before we get up out of here and you head to Philadelphia?
Nah, I'll be posting on Discord and keep you all updated, and we'll be back next week to recap everything. I'm excited, man. Let's go. WrestleMania weekend.
EJ Reed heading to Philadelphia to cover WrestleMania. Also doing Haymaker Sports talking about MMA. Speaking of MMA, man, when did Paige Van Zandt get so hot? But anyway, if you don't have anything else, EJ, we'll get up out of here. For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Happy WrestleMania. Happy WrestleMania t-shirt week. Everybody, please post your pictures of your t-shirts. We got the American Nightmare giveaway for the first 3 places. It is going to be so much fun. Until next week when we're recapping what happened at WrestleMania. I'm Chris Rucker for E.J. Reed. Peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.